Hey guys, me and Monique are coming to you again with another webisode. This is webisode number 5. This webisode is going to be about when friends lead a different lifestyle than yours. Okay, so what do you do? Let's say on a spiritual note. Say they're into secular things like listen to certain kind of music, or say they like to drink a lot, or do drugs, or they like to go to the club and stuff like that. And it doesn't even have to be spiritual. Maybe you just don't want to do things like that. And how do you separate the two, or how do you still remain friends? Sometimes you have to let go of those friends, because if it's too much of a temptation, then hey, you don't want to be tempted in doing something that for a reason you're not doing.
I can tell you that I honestly agree with her opinion on that. One of the things that I find is that people, for whatever reason, it could be that they are fearful of being afraid and not having friends. Maybe they are not strong enough to stand against being in an environment or with people that they don't line up with. Whatever the reason is, I find that a lot of people put themselves in a predicament, put themselves in a crowd, in a clique, in communion with, in association with people who they don't want to be with. And I mean, it could be for a number of reasons. It could be because they just simply don't do the things that their friends do. They don't have the same value system. They don't have the same amount of integrity. And so, those are excellent reasons to find new friends. Those are excellent reasons to, kind of sever your relationship and your loyalty to people who are not going where you're going. And, that's the important thing. You don't want to be in a relationship, a friendship with somebody who doesn't have the same amount of integrity, doesn't have, a similar vision.
Also, you can talk to your friends and let them know, like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable when you do this, that, and the other. Could you wait till I'm gone, or do it before I come, or whatever. I mean, if your friends are your friends, they'll respect that. If it's hard for them, then just find new friends, or just come around, when they're not participating in those activities. Say, you're in church, or you're a mom, a parent now, and they go to the club all the time, and you used to go to the club too, but you don't anymore. So now those kind of things basically turn you off. So what do? First of all, we don't want to judge them, based on their walk. If anything, you can always pray for them, but don't feel like you have to fall into, that old stuff and say, in order to, still be with my friends, I have to do the stuff they do, because that's not true. Just pick when you're going to be around them and when you're not going to be around them. Pick if you're going to be their friend or if you're not going to be their friend. And look at how those things affect you when you leave them or when you're with them. Are you contemplating taking a drink, hitting the blunt, going to the club? Does it tempt you?
When you choose not to remove yourself from people that do things differently, when you choose to stay in that type of environment, let me tell you something. You're compromising your happiness, your sanity, your values. You're giving up more than they are, because you're having to adapt to their environment. You're having to adapt to the things that they do. So you've got to evaluate. You've got to sit down and think, is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to, hang out with you 24/7 and I'm not getting my work done? Who's reaping what in the end? Those are the things you need to think about.
It can get lonely, I can say that. When you don't go to the bars anymore, when you don't go to happy hour, I'm speaking for me, when you don't go to the clubs, and that's what a lot of your friends do. It's like, dang, well, where can we go? You want to go to church with me? what do you want to do, you know? So it can get hard, but something that you can pray about is that God will send you the right friends. You know, he will send friends that are all about what it is that you're about, you know. Just know that when you pray and ask for something, he will do it. So don't be like, oh my gosh, John hasn't called me. Oh my gosh, why haven't I talked to Samantha? Oh my gosh, why isn't Rachel hit me up no more? Like, is it something I did? No, God's just answering your prayers and he's moving those people out the way. So have a peace about it. You know, just know that, like, especially if you ask, you know, if anything's not of you, Lord, just remove it. And when he starts moving people out the way, I mean, they're dropping off like flies and you're like, okay, figure out now, you know, figure out now what it is that you want to do, because you don't want to leave like on bad terms, you know, out of frustration. So, you know, just analyze the situation, and, you know, eventually, even if you're not being tempted by it, if you don't do it anymore, 9 times out of 10, you might not want to even be around it. So you might just want to separate yourself, period. And there's nothing wrong with doing that.
And I would add this one caveat too. When I say sever a relationship with people, when I say, you know, cut friendships off, that does not mean that you stop praying for them. It doesn't mean that you stop caring for them. You're going to care about their well-being, their health, whatever the case is. Don't stop caring for them. You know what I mean? Lift them up in prayer. Because you never know. Later on, they might be one that your prayers were heard and their life would change around, transform. You know what I mean? So don't stop praying for people. Don't stop caring for people. And realize that just because you don't do the same things that other people do, just because you don't do the same quote unquote like sins that other people do, doesn't mean that you are more righteous. I mean, the Bible says that our righteousness is nothing but filthy rags. That brings a whole new perspective on, you know, how we think about ourselves. So again, you know, if it wasn't for the grace of God, yo, where would I be? Where would you be? So just keep that in mind. Keep a level head. Balance things out. Don't compromise your sanity. Don't compromise your well-being. Don't compromise your health. Don't compromise your mindset. Don't compromise your goal for anybody else. But on the same note, be merciful, be gracious, and if anything, yo, just pray for people.
I mean, you could be an example to your friends. So do not feel like you have to do what they're doing to remain friends with them. Either you guys are going to be friends and it's going to be cool. They ain't going to do it around you. Or, you know, they're going to respect your wishes, whatever.
Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, it's your life. And nobody else can live your life for you. All right? Nobody else can live your life for you. Nobody else can care more about where you're going and what you're doing and where you end up in life. Nobody else can care more than you. I thank you guys. Evelyn and I, we thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, if you like the words that we were offering, the ideas that we were offering, yo, let us know. We enjoy your feedback. We enjoy the fact that you guys enjoy what we're doing. And so, yeah, we want to hear from you. All right, until next time.